Welcome to On the Curbside, a show that brings you the latest in indie and alternative music news. That is right, bringing you the latest and the greatest for the week. Going to be having a bit of a fun one tonight, as per usual. I say that every week, but that's because it's the truth, and frankly, I don't like lying. We're going to be talking about a couple of international acts today. Some interesting stuff going on with Mumford Sons, boycotting a festival in Sweden. Get some stuff coming up about Sticky Fingers and DMA'S, as well as some bad Dreems, And we've got a couple of new festivals on the go. Don't want to spoil those ones a bit too much. One's in a cold climate, one's a little bit warmer, so it's like a bit for everyone. No matter where you are right around the country, we're going to hook you up and let you know what you can find, where you can go to grab, having an absolute shocker. Grab some awesome live tunes, live music, get along, get amongst it, and have a really great time. Going to be bringing you the gig guide as per usual as well. Just really great stuff. If you're listening to us in full, maybe live here on Phoenix Radio right now, or on Switch 1197 if it's a Thursday night, or maybe you're catching us on the SoundCloud where you're listening to the show in full, we're going to have some great music for you tonight. Some real rippers. If you're listening to us on the podcast, maybe wherever you get your podcasts, jump over. Hit up soundcloud.com/onthecurbside and you'll be able to find the show in full and maybe discover some new music that you didn't know you needed in your life, but you really do.
Bringing you the latest in indie music news. It's On the Curbside.
That is right, here on the Curbside for another week. Going to be getting into some music news now regarding these guys. That is right, Mumford Sons. Teased a little bit earlier in the show. This one's their track, I Will Wait. Bit of an oldie now. Absolute ripper, though. And they're going to be boycotting a festival in Sweden where they found out over the weekend police are reporting up to 17 women were sexually assaulted. So obviously that's not very good, not okay at all. So the awful reports are coming out of the Bravalla Festival, a 3-day event held in the southern Swedish city of Norrköping. I hope I said that right. I doubt I did. Where they actually headlined it over the weekend when these attacks, I suppose, or assaults would be the right way to call them. Lineup also featuring Macklemore, Ryan Lewis, Wiz Khalifa, as well as Tired Lion, who are really killing it at the moment. So in a statement to Facebook, Mumford Sons was showing support for their victims, saying, "We're appalled and gutted by this hideous reports," and saying they're never going to be playing that festival again until the organisers are able until the organisers had dealt with the disgustingly high rate of reported sexual violence. So they weren't the only ones from that festival over the weekend who spoke out. Another performer called Bravella tweeted out angrily saying, and this is translated from Swedish, so I apologize if it's not the exact translation, but this is the general gist. For those shamelessly raping a girl in the audience, you deserve to burn in hell. So more worryingly, accounts of sexual violence were also reported at Sweden's Put i Park Festival in Karlstad over the same weekend as well, which was 30th of June to July 2nd. And the press has been reporting that police received up to 35 reports of attacks by boys or young men against female attendees at the festival, the youngest of which was just 12 years old. So, yeah, really not good stuff to be hearing or seeing about at all there. Really not the sort of news and the sort of atmosphere you want to be happening at a festival. Especially an all-ages one, where everyone should just be able to sit back and relax and have a really great time all across the board. So hopefully this situation is something that gets resolved reasonably quickly and is something that can get tightened up, because it's really not the sort of atmosphere you want to create at all. So the Swedish Prime Minister, Stefan Löfven, went on to say, "It's also important that we continue to ensure that the police, prosecutors and other officials are better equipped to investigate such crimes and actually catch the perpetrators." So yeah, hopefully that gets on top of it. That's why you'll never see Mumford Sons again, probably playing that festival in Sweden. And it does sound like a real big one in Sweden, so I'm sure a lot of punters are going to be really disappointed about that. But I think it's a fair call and a fair way to protest some really unfair and really bad acts that are taking place at those festivals there.
Keep up to date with the latest music news at onthecurbside.net.
That is right. Best place to get in contact with us as well. If you want to hit us up, facebook.com/onthecurbside or at onthecurbside on Twitter. And let me know if you're listening. Love to hear from the listeners. Let you hear how you're liking the show and exactly what's going on with you guys as you listen to me rap on about a whole heap of really great music news from both Australia and right around the world. But speaking of people, coming back to Australia, DMA'S returning from their secret set at Glastonbury. Probably played this one there, I would think. They're going to be doing a tour this October, hitting up pretty well most of the East Coast capital cities. Going to see them in Melbourne, Adelaide, Sydney, and Brisbane, alongside Bad Dreems. Which interesting combination. Really great show to get along to. It'd be lots to go on there. Both really excellent bands. So that's going to be happening from the Friday the 7th of October right through to Saturday the 15th of October, with 2 shows taking place each weekend on the Friday, Saturday nights. So it's going to be I'm just imagining the whole show now going down. I think it's going to be really awesome. Really, really awesome. Tickets are going on sale pretty soon. Monday, July 11th at 9 a.m. DMA'smusic.com is going to be the best place to grab that info on those tickets, as well as some more on the shows, exactly what venues you can expect to catch them at and all of that sort of stuff. And they've been touring pretty well non-stop since 2014, and reckon they've played more times in London and Glasgow than they did in Sydney last year, spending a lot of time in Europe, if you remember, if you follow them on their socials. And it's just been going on and on and on, playing at Glastonbury as well as Reading at Leeds, and they're going to be hitting up Japan's Fuji Rock Festival as well. Then back for Yours and Ours and Splendor in the Grass this year. So despite all of this, they're still going to be recording and finishing up some song ideas they recorded in London for their second album. Having a little chat to Triple J, Johnny and Mason, said, we're kind of always writing. We just did some recording in London a couple of weeks ago, which was great. Rented out a studio and recorded 3 new songs. So, fresh off the press, we're going to be able to grab some new stuff from DMA'S very soon, I think, is what we're getting a little taste out of there. And if you are catching them at any of their shows in the not too distant future, you'll probably be able to snap up some of their new stuff. Let us know. If you hear anything that's new from DMA'S, I'd love to hear from you. On those socials, I did just say a little bit before, add on the Curbside for both Facebook and Twitter. Let me know. Give us a shout out. And as soon as we do get our hands on that new stuff from DMA'S, right here on the Curbside will be the first place you will be able to grab it.
On the Curbside, the music news equivalent of smooth sax.
Swinging us into the gig guide for another week. Kicking off Friday, the 8th of July. Already way over halfway through the year. LDRU is going to be playing at the Villa nightclub in Perth. Brood's going to be at the Tivoli Theatre in Fortitude Valley, Queensland. Seth Century is going to be continuing his 1969 tour at 170 Russell in Melbourne. Nairi is going to be hitting up the Transit Bar in Canberra, ACT. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards going to be at the Croston Park Hotel in Thornbury. What's So Not and A-Track are going to be playing the Prince of Wales Band Room in St Kilda. Jungle Giant's going to be at the Players Bar in Mandurah, WA, and Stonefield's going to be at the Newtown Social Club. Moving on to Saturday, the 9th of July, LDRU is going to be continuing that little tour going around to the Enmore Theatre now in Newtown. Seth Century is going to be at the Wool Exchange in Geelong. What's So Not and A-Track going to be playing West End in Queensland at Max Watts. Glass Animals are going to be playing the Metro Theatre in Sydney. They've got a new one out at the moment called Life Itself. We played it a little while ago and talked about it on the show. It's really great. Would recommend having a look at that if you haven't already, or maybe going and seeing them live and catching it live for the first time. Jungle Giants are going to be playing at Jackrabbit Slims in Northbridge, WA. The Creases are going to be playing Newtown Social Club in Newtown, New South Wales. And Stonefield are going to be playing the Northcote Social Club in Northcote, Victoria. That takes us over to the 10th of July. George Maple's going to be playing the Fat Controller in Adelaide, South Australia. And Split Seconds is going to be playing at Mojo's in North Fremantle, WA. So a whole heap of stuff going on this weekend. If you did miss the gig guide for this week, maybe you breeze through something or you want to have a little read back and see exactly what's going on, best place to do that will be on thecurbside.net. From there, you'll be able to find every gig guide every week as we put them up and see what's going on. Call up your mates and maybe go see something absolutely amazing this weekend or every weekend, really.
On the Curbside, the music news equivalent of smooth sax.
That one's sounding a little bit familiar. It's the new one from Sticky Fingers. It's called Our Town. So they're keeping it pretty close to home. If you have a look at the film clip for this one, rolling around Newtown, their local stomping ground. And look, it's really great. Like, a lot of really 70s sort of looking dudes, chilled out vibes, just having a really great time. And this is another one off their hopefully soon to be released album that they finished recording in Thailand at the end of last year, around September or so. And honestly, it's just great. Really, really great stuff. And when held up against their last single that we did here, Outcast at Last, it comes off quite more, sort of a lot more restrained and a bit more mellow, really sort of encapsulating between those two songs the sound and the vibe of Sticky Fingers as a whole. So it features them sort of meeting up with their couple of mates in the band as a whole, stroking it through Newtown, and perhaps an observation of some of the stuff you can expect to see around Newtown as you have a little look-see. And for those who live in Newtown, I'm sure they'll be able to appreciate how well it encapsulates sort of all of their stuff as a whole. It seems to be a bit more, as I did say, of a chilled out tune, capturing the dudes just having a bit of a stroll around town and maybe sort of a casual Sunday afternoon or Thursday night having a bit of a sesh with the boys down at the Lord Gladstone Bar. Really, really great stuff. So they did record their album. It is done as well. That does have this one as well as Outcast at Last, featuring on it in Thailand with Dan Hume. So that comes off the back of their sophomore album, Land of Pleasure, which was honestly a really, really amazing album. Got that one on vinyl, and I would dare say it is one of my favorite albums of all time quite easily. I was listening to it on repeat today as I was doing a bit of prep for the show tonight. So I think we're in for some really, really exciting stuff from these dudes with their new album. We don't have the name for that one yet either, though, which is quite unfortunate, but I'm sure it is only a matter of time. And if you do want to see them live, I would keep your eyes very peeled and go looking very hard, because they have sold out quite a number of shows right around the country without even announcing them. So you might want to start having a look at the venue websites and upcoming gigs on there if you would like to catch those dudes, because that may be the only way that you can get tickets, because they are in very, very, very high demand at the moment. Otherwise, I'd recommend having a look at that track, Our Town, perhaps jumping on the internet, having a look at the video clip for it as well, because I feel like it's one of those things where the clip and the song together really encapsulates the whole vibe, and it just sort of makes it a whole. So get amongst that if you haven't already. Have a listen to it. It's one of my favorite songs at the moment, and really, really good stuff expected off their next album, of which we have no name at the moment.
Bringing you the latest in indie music news. It's on the Curbside.
That is right. And we got some exciting stuff. Snowtunes Festival has just announced its lineup for another year, hitting off in Jindabyne, And this is only its second festival, kicking off Saturday, 3rd of September. And it's going to be headed up by a pretty iconic Australian producer at the moment. You might know him. It's this guy. What's So Not is his name. He's touring at the moment. Talked about it a little bit before in the gig guide. He's going to be joined by Ballpark Music, who have a new album on the way, as well as time-traveling mashup Mastro, Hot Dub Time Machine. And look, it's going to be really great stuff on amazing backgrounds, kicking off in Jindabyne. Really, really, really at the base of the famous ski slopes of Perisher and Threadbow. Snowtunes is going to feature some stuff from Asta as well. Savilian, Ivy, and like heaps and heaps and heaps of really, really great artists. Ticketing for this sort of thing is going to be at the Snowtunes website. If you just jump onto the net and do a little Google search of Snowtunes Music Festival, you better find it pretty easily. And this is following a really massive lineup from last year that included Hermitude, TK Maidsa, All Day Paces, plus heaps more as well. So look, it's going to be really, really, really amazing stuff. Hopefully, maybe make a weekend out of it. Grab some mates, go for a bit of a road trip down to Jindabyne, catch some live music as well as some pretty sweet snow on the slopes. Really, really awesome stuff. Like I did say, it's going to be happening Saturday, the 3rd of September at Jindabyne, which isn't very far from now. So if you do want to get involved, you might have to jump on that one pretty quickly. The full lineup is What's So Not, Hot Dub Time Machine, Ballpark Music, Asta, Kilter, Hydraulics, One Day Part, Ivy, Savilan, Soul Benefits, Timmy Will, DJ Ox, and there's still more to be announced. And they have a pretty sweet announcement video on their Facebook as well, which is just Snowtunes Fest. If you have a search for that one, you should be able to find it pretty bloody easily.
Bringing you the latest in indie music news. It's on the Curbside.
Indie music news, indeed. We just talked about Snowtunes Festival. Now we're going to be talking about another festival that's kicking off in Coffs Harbour this year. It's called, wait for it, and if you're familiar with Coffs Harbour, you'll see why the name is quite fitting. It is called Banana Field Music Festival, and it's going to be featuring these guys. It's going to be taking place at the Coffs Harbour Racecourse Saturday the 29th of October 2016. These guys, of course, going to be playing British India, as well as LDRU, the Delta Rigs, Hockey Dad, Mall Rat are going to be kicking it as well. And there's also going to be an electronic stage and a local stage, which is going to be chock-a-block with, as you would expect, electronic acts, as well as some local artists. So, according to the Facebook post of the official event, Banana Field promoters have set themselves a lofty goal, and they're going to start small and build this event every year until we revive the music scene in Coffs Harbour. So that's really, really great to hear. Always big promoters of any form of new music, whether it's gigs, festivals, whatever, right around the country in Australia. Here on the Curbside, we'll back it all. Early bird tickets are going to be going on sale very soon, possibly already if you are, depending where you're listening to this. 9 a.m. Thursday, the 7th of July is when they went up. So if it's after that and you want to grab some ticks, you might want to get on it very quickly. The full lineup for the event is Illy, British India, LDRU, Art vs. Science, The Delta Rigs, Hockey Dad, Phoebe Star, Mallrat, Luna Grand, Fabio and Moon, Made in Paris, Then Jolene, Surge, Like Liquid, Maddie Effin Morrison, Fish on Fire, Son of Jaguar, Urge to Kill Rising, plus a whole heap more. If you do want to grab your tickets to that event, or maybe you just want a bit more information, www.bananafieldmusicfestival.com.au has got you back. That's where you're able to find all of that stuff and grab those early bird tickets depending when you are listening to this show. I'd really like to catch those guys. Might even consider getting down to Coffs Harbour, having a look at the festival. Right around my birthday. Could make a trip out of it. Anyway, if you want to grab tickets, get amongst it right now, because honestly, with a lineup like that, I would not be surprised if that one was to sell out very quickly. Hope you guys had a really great time listening to the show this week. If you do want to get in touch, On the Curbside on Twitter is going to be the best place to do that, or you can hit us up on Facebook, which is facebook.com/onthecurbside, or hit up our website, which is onthecurbside.net. Otherwise, this show goes up as a podcast, wherever you get your podcast, whether it's Apple, wherever, or you can listen to the show in full with music on our SoundCloud, which is soundcloud.com/onthecurbside. Alrighty, we'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Tonight, I fell out of bed. Woke up with the hardwood floor pressed hard against my head. 'Cause you woke me up in the daylight, and knowing something was not right, I called in sick for work. Well, hey, you want a brand new person? That's just fine, yeah, you can have one. Cause when